let's talk about Book of Boba Fett episode 3 because it came out last week and I never did talk about it, but now I feel like it's time. So, spoilers if you have not seen this episode. This episode opens up with a guy going to Boba Fett and being like, hey, there are these deadly cyborg thugs that are stealing my water. You took over Jabba's empire. Jabba would have taken care of this for me. I need you to take care of it. Boba Fett's aight. Boba Fett's just like, okay, I'll do it. The weird thing about this is the fact that we get more of that horrible dialogue. This show is known for this really clunky, goofy, just awkward dialogue. We get more of that. And also, this throughout this entire show, like I talked about last time, Boba talks way too much. He just does. His dialogue's bad, but also he talks a lot, way more than he should, and I'm not the only one that thinks this. The actor who plays him, Tamara Morrison, recently had an interview saying, yeah, Boba talks way too much, and it ruins the mystery.
I was hoping not to say as much as I have already in the first 2 episodes. I speak far too much. In fact, in the beginning, I was trying to get past my lines on to Ming Na.
Yes,
and I'd always say, excuse me, director, I really feel that Ming Na should say these lines because I want to stay mysterious. Right. I want to stay quiet.
But then I caught on. He wasn't just trying to be a very generous actor, which he is. He was just trying to parlay some of the work to me.
Yes. Shirking his responsibility.
So yeah, but and even when, because well, obviously John's the one of the key writers. So and so sometimes I'd always say, I think this is too much. I think this is too much. Then I'd go to, what was the other guy's name? Noah. I'd try and get.
Oh, Noah. Yes, Noah Noor. Mm-hmm.
I remember, of course, John actually went away to Atlanta, so I rang Noah that night and I said, Noah, the scene tomorrow, I'm talking too much. This Boba doesn't talk this much. Look, I've got all these paragraphs here. I think we should get rid of it. And John's gone to Atlanta, so don't tell him. And then next minute that morning on set, I get a call from Atlanta. John wants you to say all that dialogue.
It ruins the mystery of this character. He's no longer this cool, calculated bounty hunter. He's now just a guy that takes everything at face value, talks way too much, rambles. It's really weird. He comes off as really aloof and naive about everything. And even Tamara Morrison thinks that, and I feel really sorry for him. It's a similar situation to what happened to Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi, where Mark Hamill was like, yeah, this ain't Luke Skywalker. I'm even referring to him as Jake Skywalker because this is not that character that I've been playing for years. And it sucks that it's happening again with Boba Fett. But anyways, Boba agrees to go help this guy with the water that's being stolen from him. So he goes to confront these deadly cyborgs. You think, oh, maybe this will be cool. Maybe we'll get Boba Fett fighting some cyborgs. But nope, he confronts them. They're just some like kids in like their mid-20s, it seems, that have a bunch of cybernetic upgrades and these cool mopeds, except they're not cool. They look really stupid, but they got these really colorful Power Ranger mopeds. Boba's like, why are you guys stealing water? And they're like, because the water's overpriced and there's no jobs in this town, man. And Boba's like, fair enough. Boba doesn't question them at all, because you see these guys, they're like, oh man, we can't afford the water, there's no jobs. But then you look at them and you're like, you guys have top of the line cybernetic upgrades, and you also have these very polished, new looking bikes, like speeder mopeds. How did you afford all that if you can't afford water? If you guys don't have jobs, how'd you afford that? And if you did just steal those, does that mean everything's okay to steal if you can't afford it? Is that how this works? Is that how Boba sees it as? Like, they couldn't afford it, so they stole it. Fair enough, fine. If you can't afford it, that's what you gotta do. You can't, work for it and save up. You gotta steal it. You gotta have it. Because that's how Boba feels. Anyways, the other guy comes out of the shadows and is like, but they've been stealing my water. You're supposed to take care of them. And Boba's like, nah, cut your prices in half, dude. That's way too expensive. Because the small company Disney that always has to deal with the giant corporations, Disney's the ones that should be taking jabs at capitalism. Makes perfect sense. Anyways, Boba offers them jobs. Well, first he takes his helmet off, because that's one of the staples of the series. Boba has to take his helmet off 15 times per episode. Just every single time he's having a conversation with someone. He wants them to see his true intentions, to see the emotion on his face. So he always takes his helmet off. Anyways, he takes his helmet off during this conversation. Is like, oh, there's no jobs. Well, you guys come work for me. Offers some jobs. Takes them back to his palace. And while at the palace, he goes to the back tank. We get a flashback. In the flashback, Boba goes and talks to the Pike leader. If you watch the second episode, you'll remember that Boba took down the Pike's train and he was like, hey, you guys now owe me and the Tusken Raiders some money every time you come through here because this is a Tusken Raiders land. So if you come through here, you're going to pay a protection fee to us. So Boba goes to collect that protection fee from one of the leaders of the Pikes. And when he's there, they're like, hey, dude, I would be fine with paying a protection fee, but we're already paying a protection fee to this biker gang. And Boba's like, oh, damn, that sucks. Okay, I'll go ahead and take care of that biker gang for you. This feels like a video game mission. Like you go somewhere and they're like, take out this faction for me and come back for your reward. It feels like a video game, which is a complaint I had about Mandalorian Season 1. A lot of those episodes felt like video game missions, and they're doing it again here in Boba, where it feels like a video game. Anyways, it doesn't really make sense for Boba to just like take them at their word and just be like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm sorry you had to pay protection to them. I'll take care of them so you can only pay us. Instead, you think Boba would be like, nah, dude, you think that biker gang's bag? Me and the Tusken Raiders can make your life a living hell like those bikers can't at all. We're going to make things so bad for you that you're going to pay us and you'll do whatever you need to do with those guys. I don't care, but we're getting our money. You think he'd do that? Instead, he's like, no, I'll take care of that problem for you. Sorry you got to deal with those guys. So then he goes back to the Tusken Raiders to tell them what's going on. But when he gets there, all the Tusken Raiders are dead. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah, I don't care. They've been trying to get me to care about the Tusken Raiders for the past 2 episodes. Do not care that they died. The thing that I'm sad about is that I didn't get to see them die. I wish they would have shown it on screen. Instead, they die off screen. These characters they've been building up, all dead, off screen. Really dumb, really stupid. I don't get why they did it that way, but whatever. Boba walks through the camp kind of unaffected, like his face, he just has no emotion, which is weird because one of the big differences between this Boba and the Boba we know is this one's very emotional about everything, but all of his best friends just died that he's been bonding with, and he's like, whatever, doesn't care. You think this would have been the time to show some emotion, like whether that's anger or sadness or whatever. No, he's just like, he just doesn't care. Really weird, really odd to see him walk through the camp emotionless. Does not make sense for the Boba that we've come to know in this show. So after that, we get abruptly taken back to the present day where Boba's sitting in his back tank because Black Kristen, the big old badass Wookiee from episode 2, is trying to kill Boba Fett. Now you think, what do you mean trying? How do you not kill him? Because Boba's sleeping in his back tank. He can't defend himself. Why wouldn't you just shoot him or stab him or any number of other things to kill him? No, instead he picks him up, gives him a hug, and tries to kill him with like taser knuckles. I don't get what it is with the assassins in this universe using non-lethal weapons when trying to assassinate people. In episode 1, the assassins used taser sticks, and now this guy's using taser knuckles. These are non-lethal means to take someone out. Why aren't you using lethal things? Why not use lethal weapons? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, he beats the living crap out of Boba per usual in this show. Boba just gets his ass beat till he gets saved, and he gets saved by the cyborg kids. Yay, they have a use. But this fight's kind of funny looking because Boba looks like a big old baby because he's wearing a diaper from being in his back tank, and he's, just bald and like looks like he's lathered in baby oil because he's all wet from the back tank. Looks hilarious. Anyways, he gets his ass beat, then he gets saved. They lure Black Kristen into the pit, the trap door that leads to the old Rancor pit. Then we go to the next day where the Hutt twins show up. They're like, yeah, we were the ones that sent him to kill you. Sorry about that, but turns out we were lied to by the same guy, by the mayor. Sorry, we didn't mean anything by it. Tatooine's not really worth our time, so we're going to peace out. Here's a Rancor for all your troubles. And that's how that beef ends. I was so mad at this point because if you watched my last episode, you'll remember that my last video talking about the last episode, you'll remember that my favorite part of episode 2 was when Boba talked to the Hutts, because the Hutts come in and they're like, yo, Jabba was our boy, now he's dead, and you took over his territory. That ain't cool with us. And Boba's like, back up. This is my territory now. I'm ruling here. You guys need to back up. And it's like, oh man, there's beef here. There's also a badass Wookiee there that they're going to have to use. What's going to happen? I can't wait to see how this resolves in like the season finale or something. No, they don't resolve it in the season finale. It's resolved in the very next episode. The best drama of the show, the most interesting aspect of the show, was resolved in the very next episode. And it was resolved horribly. But anyways, like I said, they give Boba a Rancor for his troubles. yeah, this doesn't make sense why Boba would accept this Rancor, because imagine if in real life someone tried to kill you and then they're like, sorry, to smooth things over, here's a tiger. Immediately, my brain would be thinking, that tiger's gonna kill me, right? Like, you're giving me a tiger that's, like, trained to kill me? Like, that's the whole reason you're giving me that? You're not giving me that because, like, tigers are cool and you think it would be a cool pet that would help me. You're giving me that so it'll kill me because you just tried to kill me, right? But no, Boba's like, there's no way this is a trap. This Rancor's going to try to kill me. He trusts the Rancor immediately, and we have, like, this weird puppy dog moment where Boba, like, pets it and is really excited about it. And that's kind of weird. Some people were complaining about the whole Danny Trejo talking about the Rancors being like very loyal creatures and stuff. I have no problem with that, because in Return of the Jedi, when the Rancor died, the big fat dude was very upset about it. So you can tell that the Rancors are more than just mindless beasts. Like, there is something to them. There is something a bit more to them. So I didn't mind that aspect. I saw some people complain about it, didn't care. But anyways, Black Kristen, after he tries to kill Boba and he gets taken captive and then the Hutts leave, Boba releases him and is like, no hard feelings, bro, you can go on your way. Okay, so I don't necessarily mind Boba doing that because of the fact that Boba is a bounty hunter, so he understands it's a tough gig and he understands he's just doing his job. But it is kind of weird for him to just let him go in the middle of the desert and not, like, I don't know, either teach him a lesson about what he did, be like, yeah, you just tried to kill me, that's a no-fly zone here, like, you don't get to do that, or at least try to recruit him or something. Because right now, Boba's empire is pathetic. You think of Jabba had killers all over the place constantly around him. You think of Boba, he's got Fennec, he's got 2 Gamorrean guards, and he's got some cyborg kids, and that's it. It's pathetic. One of the parts of the show that I hate the most is seeing them walk around Tatooine. Everywhere they go, they're walking around the middle of, like, the streets of Tatooine, and it's, like, 4 people. And it looks horrible. It's like, this is who people are supposed to be afraid of? I don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments below. Does this bother you guys as well? I think it looks horrible. Maybe it's the way it's shot. I don't know. But it looks so lame seeing Boba slowly walk around Tatooine with, like, 3 of his groupies. And that's it. Like, I don't know what would be a better alternative to that. See him taking a speeder places, or maybe going around the rooftops or something. It just seems really stupid and ignorant to be like, oh, people have been trying to assassinate me, I'm still just going to walk around in the middle of the street with, like, 3 of my homies. Doesn't make sense to me, looks stupid. I think a good way to beef up his empire would be to add a badass Wookiee to it. But no, instead they just let him go, and he just takes off. Okay, whatever. So after all this, Boba decides to go and confront the mayor. He does. When he gets there, he's like, hey, we want to talk to the mayor. The mayor's right-hand man is like, sorry, mayor's busy, can't talk to him. Fennec is like, clear his schedule real fast or I'm going to clear your head of your brains. And Boba's like, don't you think that's a little mean? Don't you think you shouldn't be doing that? Not joking. Boba legitimately is upset that Fennec was so mean to this guy. I don't know why this Boba's so soft. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, Boba then goes and tries to confront the mayor. Mayor's gone, and the mayor's right-hand man takes off, and we get one of the worst chases in TV, movie, anything history. These speeders look like they're moving at 10 miles an hour. Boba says, hey, my cyborgs, go chase him on your speeder mopeds. They go chase him. It's a horrible chase. It looks awful. There's a scene where it looks like an ass is driving a speeder, so that's cool. And Boba shows up at the end with his jetpack. I don't get why Boba didn't just chase him from the get-go with his jetpack, but whatever. That's immediately what I thought when he's like, hey, go chase him. I'm like, Boba, you have a jetpack. What are you doing? You didn't use it in episode 1 when you could have escaped, like, the phalanx from those assassins, and now you're not using it when you can chase this guy. Why do you even have a jetpack? Makes no sense. So they corral him, and that's basically the end of the episode. He tells him that, like, the Pikes are coming back. The mayor's working with the Pikes or whatever, and that's why he doesn't like Boba, has been trying to get Boba killed, and that's basically the end of that episode. So most people agreed with me on the last video that this show is not very good, but there were some people that adamant defenders of the show and act like it's amazing, it's really good. We've gotten some great character progression for Boba. Those people ask, what character progression have we gotten? Boba is horrible at everything at all times. He's a weakling that gets his ass beat whenever he's in a fight. He's an idiot that takes everything at face value. Literally, anyone tells him anything and he immediately trusts them 100% and couldn't possibly fathom that they are lying. He's not aware of anything whatsoever. He's never like, in Empire it seemed like he was several steps ahead of people, like when he knew Luke was there, or how he was able to catch Han. No, not here. In this, he's just a big dumb idiot. And there's been no progression to, oh, don't worry, he's going to get to where he's the badass bounty hunter. I have no doubt that in the last episode of this series, he'll probably be like a badass. But there's no progression to it. I think just out of nowhere, it's going to be like, oh, Boba's cool now. I don't think there's no build up to it. I do think in the final episode they'll give us like some cool Boba moments, but I think it's going to be unearned. I think it's going to be like, why wasn't he like that at the beginning of the show? There was nothing here to show him to get to that point. There's nothing that led to it. There's no progression. He's just a big dumb idiot. Why would anyone like this character? I don't understand how anyone could like this character. He's not likable at all. And Tamara Morrison himself doesn't even like how this character's going. I don't get it. But anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 3. I'll probably make it a video on episode 4 when that comes out, which is coming out like midnight tonight when I'm recording this. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what do you guys think of Book of Boba Fett so far. What do you think of episode 3? Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.